Hello, everyone, and welcome to Help, I Am Haunted. Now, tonight, I've been having a little bit of technical difficulties, as you can possibly and sort of kind of see. So, I've got some stories. I've been trying to download some photographs and all kinds of different things, and StreamYard will not allow me to put this in or to upload these. So with that being said, I'm going to tell you a couple of stories that I have, and you're going to love them. And I've got something weird I want to show you, or actually, show you so you can listen to. But let's get started because I know you're absolutely just teetotally gonna love. This is a limited series and you're gonna love it. Stay tuned.
Every haunting has a beginning and an end, but in this place, one becomes the other. Step closer, the lantern's glow will guide you. What you are about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help, I'm Haunted.
There you are, my darlings. Now I want to share this with you because this is kind of sort of how things have been going with technology today. And ever since this past Saturday night when we had attorney Melanie Little, and you saw how active the spirit box is, it's almost as though I was waiting for her to talk to, all these other things. So yes. Oh, absolutely. Should bring in your rice jar in a few days ago, my darlings. Only 24 hours out into the moon. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you. And I don't know what this is, and I don't know what happened because I never have issues with my recording devices or anything else. I'm going to play this with you, and I want you to listen at the end. And no, PD, we're not PD, Paranormal PD. It's like they all wait. Paranormal PD. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play this and listen closely to the end of this recording that I made earlier today. And pardon me, that's Paranormal PD coming in for the win. Here we go.
What you're about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help, I'm Haunted. And how.
Now, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I'm sorry. He sneezed. I'm going to play it again. There's something up. There's something up with this. Let me play this again.
What you are about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help, I'm Haunted. And how.
That little bit at the end, and how, that certainly wasn't me. I did not. Why would I record that? And I had recorded some other things earlier. I don't know. Sometimes that just sort of kind of thing happens. So while you're here, let me light a fire so we can get started. So that's been the day trying to get technology, readings, all these other things done. Amazing. Everything has been off a little bit, and I think the spirits are restless. And it's because, pardon me, it is because this is PD Pink Nose, Paranormal PD, and it is because I know of the energy of the Aiden trial, of everything else that's going on. Things are heating up. So just so you know that. So, my darlings, the other thing I want to show you is look at these earrings. Better with the Irish sent me these earrings. And look at this. I got to show them to you. They are little half moons. And look at those kitties. Look at those kitties. Are they not? There's a kitty sitting there. Are they not adorable? And I just love them. So if you're watching my Irish Rose, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You all are so wonderful. I want to thank you so much for your love and support. Now, my internet is not that strong right now. We're going through some storms. If I lose you, we'll have to, I'm sorry, cut it off. But first of all, happy Thursday. It is August the 14th of 2025. Welcome to Help I Am Haunted, or I'm Haunted. This is a limited series. We're going to do this up through Halloween and probably the first or second week of November. So we've got a lot of stories. Believe me, my darlings, I got a lot of stories to tell, and I know many of you do as well. So this is going to be good. Another thing that I want to ask you a huge favor. I have pinned the channel for True Oracle in my chat. You'll see it if you look up. If you will do me a favor, if you have not subscribed already and it's free, please do so. We are getting close to getting 4,000 subscribers. And if you will please do that for me, I want to have a big giveaway on Saturday night. Yeah, this night after tomorrow, day after tomorrow. And we will have a big celebration for True Oracle. We will be happy and celebrate, and I will have a giveaway. Pardon me. So this is going to be a real celebration when True Oracle gets to 4,000, because once you get to 4,000 in YouTube, it's kind of like, oh, okay. They're serious about being a channel. Let's go. And I also want you to know that since Miss Melanie came on this past Saturday night, you all are so wonderful. This channel now is almost to 11,200. We went up 1,000 subscribers. And I want to keep the momentum going. How's that? So thank you so much. And Miss Melanie, if you're watching, welcome, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. This is Scary Story Night, and this is it. Thank you to each and every one of you for doing that. I know I can count on you. You guys are great. Okay, here we go. Little drink. And then I've got some scary stories to tell you, because next week, and we will be doing this every Thursday at 7 p.m., and we'll go as long as I've got a story or two. So thank you so much. Most of you are saying that you found through Ms. Melanie, Attorney Melanie Little, and I just love that. And I'm starting to post again on the Talkie Tick. So if you're over there, please do that. Oh my goodness, look at this. Thank you so much. Gen X 1968. Has anybody ever told you look like Liv Tyler? Wait, let me say, if you want him, come and claim him, right? Hello? New to this and so excited. Well, we love you, and I know you're going to love it here, and thank you so much. I've been seeing you around, and I saw you today in Miss Melanie's chat. Thank you, and thank you for your generosity. Much, much appreciated. Thank you. I see all of you. Bless you. Bless you. Okay. Get your snacks ready. Get your little goodies ready, my darlings, because I got some scary stories for you. And give me just a second. I just want to make sure Let me see. Give me a second. Okay. Just wanted to make sure phone, everything is in good shape. Get your snacks, get your drinks. I got the fire going. Put up my Venmo. Audrey, I love you. Put up my Venmo sticker. It's coming right now. I forget to do that because you know what? I'm a grifting psychic. I should remember to do that. And you know how that is when I'm a grifting psychic. I've had some people tell me that. So it's funny. Okay. I think you're gonna be okay. You're here with us and in good company, and nothing is gonna be too scary. Okay. Subscribe and like. Here we go. First scary story. I'm trying to decide which one I want to tell you. They're both good. I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you 2 stories tonight. The 2 stories, one, I was about 22, 23 years old. The other one, I was much older. And both are bothersome. Okay, here we are. The first story, my grandmother always loved going out and doing haunting things. Met Lorraine, Warren, and Ed, but Lorraine was the one that she just basically talked to. Met her at Cleveland Castle in Ohio. I know you probably have heard about that. Anyway, my grandmother, her husband, this is after my grandfather passed away. My grandmother, her husband, and I are rolling around in a little town in Ohio. Now, her husband worked at a factory and heard about this family who went on vacation, everyone, and they got into a car accident and were all unalived, very sadly. Now, so some men from work were saying, go visit this place. There's some really weird energy there. Well, my grandmother heard that. She calls me and says, she used to call me Zelkel. Zelkel, come on, we're going. I was there in a heartbeat, seriously. So we go out, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Ohio, late summer. And you know sometimes how you're in a house, and even though it can be still nice and light outside, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but when you get in, it seems like the light goes dimmer. That's exactly what this was. Well, you could tell we went in this home. It was a split level design. We pulled up, we went through the garage. It was open. Now, should we have done that? Probably not, but those were the days, right? So we go in, and you could tell that people were there. You could tell that people were there previously because there were things that had been looked through. There are things that needed to be oh wait, Bonnie Lee had the birthday. Time out. Bonnie Lee, did you have a birthday, my darling? We cannot forget you. Where are you? Bonnie Lee. Okay, we're going to sing happy birthday to Bonnie. Okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bonnie. Happy birthday to you. And many more. There you go. Bravo. Happy 29th, my darling. You're looking spectacular. All right, there you go. Thank you. Okay, now back to the story. Oh, Christine Reynolds got her beautiful bracelet. I'm so happy that you like it. I made it just for you. And you're very welcome. Okay, so we go in this house, and you could tell that people had just gone in out of curiosity, was looking for a few things, and it's sad what people do. They start looking through drawers, start looking through things. There were pictures of the family up, and just kind of gave you a little sick feeling. You opened up the refrigerator. The electric was still on. You opened up the refrigerator. There's food in the refrigerator. There's food, and there's something sacred about all that. I'm just not one, because I feel or know that nobody is around anymore, that you go in and you help yourself. I was kind of like, my grandmother and I were both like this. Her husband was a little bit more curious, just out of curiosity, looking in drawers, not taking anything. The sun starts going down. So we're walking around there, and the light bulbs were gone, because obviously people were taking that type of thing. Why do they need a light bulb now, right? So there were no light bulbs, and we did not. This is a time we didn't have cell phones. It didn't have the internet. We did not have anything like that at all. So step-grandpa went in one way, and grandma and I are going in another. So we're just kind of walking room from room, and it's very sad because they had kids. And the split level, they had kids. So we're walking through. My grandmother was kind of in this hallway, and they had this. Now, back then is when large TVs, big screen TVs started coming out. The big screen TV was there in this, how those little cabinets that you get and you build, and they never come out as good as what they should be, but they're still good enough. And you build them, and you put the bigger TV in there. Well, that's what they had. Now, I don't know about cable or anything like that, but sometimes when you walk in front of a television, you can see a reflection because the lighting is just right, and yet you see a reflection, and you just notice it, but you don't think of anything. So we're walking around in the living room, and my grandmother looks at me and she says, don't look in the television. Well, what does that make you want to do? Don't look in the television. What do I do? Turn around, and I look, but I didn't see anything. And she's looking at me. Now, my grandmother was a psychic extraordinaire. I'm just going to tell you. She was good. And one of these days, I'll tell you about some of the things that she predicted that were wild. She was very popular in my area. So we're walking through the living room. And you could see a faint reflection. It was reflecting the TV. Of course, it wasn't on. You could see there was a faint reflection. No, she was a Scorpio. Grandma Grandma, mom's mom. So, going through, my grandmother was a character. Well, I'm going to show you my grandma and grandpa. Give me a second, because you got to see this. I think I still have their picture in here. Let me see if I do. Here they are. This is my grandmother and grandfather in the early 1930s. That's them. She was psychic. He was a water witch, which was a dowser, and found a good many of the wells in our counties. They both, she wanted to look like Claudette Colbert, and she did. So anyway, I loved this picture because I always said it made him look like Bonnie and Clyde. Now, they didn't like that, but I thought I liked that. So there you go. That gives you an idea of Grandma and Grandpa. So thank you so much, my darlings. I love that. They're just so cute. My grandmother was 17, Grandpa was 24 when they got married. But those were the days. So Grandma is looking at me, and she doesn't take my hand, she takes my wrist. Now I know, hello, take the wrist, hello, get it. That means you need to come on, because she had little hands, and they were kind of sort of like small, so they felt bony. So I knew at that particular time she meant business. Step Grandpa walks from the hall, and as he walked down the hall, the television was at, you could see, and he stopped. And he looked at my grandmother, because I had my back to the TV and I could see him. He looked right at my grandmother and was kind of like, now he didn't believe in any of this. Catholic, didn't believe Italiano, didn't believe nothing, and was just standing there, and he was looking around. So my grandmother looks at me and she says, "There is something following you." Now she's saying this to me, and you can imagine at that particular time, I didn't know whether to pee my pants or to run or what the heck. So I was just standing there, and I said, "Oh my gosh." And I looked at her, and I had tears because I didn't know what to do. I was shaking, because imagine standing there, your grandma, who's psychic as can be, looks at you and says, "Something is following you. Give me a bucket, because I'm either going to use it for one end or the other." Because that scared me. That's before I really started studying. That's before I really knew a lot. I was just starting to read cards and, all these other things. So my grandma looks and she says, "I want you to know that, okay? Because I want you to walk down that hall, and I want you to come back, and I want you to walk across just like in the living room, and I want you to glance over at the television while you're doing it." So I did. And I've never seen anything like that in my life, and I never have again. It was almost a full body apparition. Couldn't tell if it was female, it was genderless, but it was definitely an entity. And it was following me. It was reflecting in the television. So as I walked past, it was about maybe this far from me, maybe a little further. And as I walked past, I looked and I could see it was following me. Now, what I know now, if I would have known now what I knew, or then what I know now, I would have stopped and I would have looked into the television and I would have said, do you recognize me? Do you see me? What do you, of course, we didn't have anything like that then. So I started feeling sick. And it was because of the energy of this, and it was because of all of this, and it scared me. I'm just going to say it scared me. So and it was getting darker, getting darker. Wie geht's du? Was ist los? Willkommen. Ich liebe dich. Ich bin eine Kartenkante Amerikanerin. Meine Familie ist vom Görlitz. Willkommen. Dankeschön. So, vielen Dank für deine Freundschaft. Bitte, schreib mir mal. All right, so I was about 22, something like that. I was about 22. So I think so. Something 21, 22. So I started getting sick. Thank you so much, darlings. Thank you, my darlings. I know mein Deutsch is Klaviklospolia. So sorry. Okay, so I told Grandma, I said, we have to leave. And it was starting to get dark. And I can see right now, it's only 7:30, but I can see right now, it's kind of like that dimming light. It's that time when when you're home and you realize you got to start turning some lights on in your home. That's what it was. The one thing I did do is I turned around and I said goodbye. And my grandma said, why did you do that? And I said, well, after all, it's been following me around the bloody house. I mean, why would I not? Why would I not? So anyway, my darlings, that is the first one. And I can tell you, I've never forgotten. Never forgotten. And that's the first one. Now, after we left, we wanted to go back. We wanted to go back, and we went back like 2 or 3 days later. And because at this point, I was brave. I thought, okay, whatever, it could have hurt me. It didn't hurt me. Let's see. And there was nothing. There was just nothing. So, yeah. It's too bad. I don't know. If I would have known, I didn't know anything. I was just, hello, dumb as a box of frogs back then. So I just didn't know. I just didn't know. If any of you have stories, I would be telling them tonight, but I really would like to have stories. If you've got photographs, those are the ones that I'll tell first because I want to put the photographs up there. I will read an email. You can email me at seeingcrime@gmail.com. Okay. But the second story, you're going to love this one. So that's the first one. There was nothing anywhere else. It was just a reflection in the TV. And believe me, when that movie with what's his name came out, Kevin Costner. No, it wasn't Kevin Costner. Who was it that played in White Noise? Who played in White Noise? When that movie came out, White Noise, I couldn't hack. Signs, two movies, and I see signs all the bloody time. So I saw you, my darling. I saw that, but I could not get any of those photographs uploaded on StreamYard, because StreamYard is kind of like weird. It's Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was the one for white noise, and I'm going to tell you, that gets to me. So, Michael Keaton, thank you so much for that. Now, here's the second one. This was in Sevierville, Tennessee. I was looking for a house. I decided I wanted this old house. And an old house back then is, no, don't be sorry. It's not your fault, my darling. StreamYard has been wonky today. And that's Shaggy. Please feel free to walk through. And so StreamYard's been wonky. My recording system has been wonky. And for those of you who missed it, I'll play that for you in a little while. Let me get this boy down here. Go. All right. So this is in Sevierville, Tennessee. There was a house for sale that nobody wanted. The real estate agent I read cards for, and she called me and she said, there's a house that nobody wants, and it definitely has some paranormal activity, and I want you to come see it, whether you want to buy it or not. I said, I'm game, let's go. So I was supposed to pick up my son from school at 3. So I said, let's go at 1, then I'll have plenty of time to be. She said, let's have lunch. We had lunch, we went, whatever. We pulled up, and it's this huge pink Victorian house. It was just unbelievable. And so I said, are you sure we should go into this place? Because it just had one of those foreboding looks, right? You stood in front of there and it was just this, it looked as though it was like looking back at you, like a energy, scary. And I looked at her and I said, oh, okay, let's go. Let's go in. I said, but I want you to leave the front door open. And she goes, oh, we shouldn't have to. And it was kind of a fall day. It was September. And I said, leave the front door open. No, she wouldn't do it. So we walk in, and it was odd. An odd laid out house. Odd. The only thing, there was a piano in the one living room. There were other little bits and pieces of furniture. There was an upstairs, and this part was kind of cool. There was a huge, great big upstairs that it was like a balcony that went all around the house that you could see down over into the first floor. Now that worried me a little bit because, I've got cats and a kid and, all this other stuff. And I'm thinking, oh boy. And of course I had grounded myself before I went in because I knew we were going to see something. At the back of the house, it was quite small. It was not dilapidated. It was in very good shape, but it just had this old look to it that was kind of like, it was kind of like, which I knew I wasn't going to buy it, and she knew it. And they kept marking down the price because it just did not have a very good, it just didn't fit. It didn't fit in the area. You're in an area filled with nothing but log cabins and beautiful chalets and homes and all these other things. And then you have this big pink Victorian house with white gingerbread on it. So we go in, I'm looking around. Now the house is pretty much empty except for the little sprinkles of furniture here and there and a couple of books and all this other. it's not a rundown house. It's not dilapidated. It just needed updating because, hello. But so you went into the back of the house and it was very small. There were 2 or 3 rooms that the ceilings were really lowered. And you felt very confined by walking in these 2 or 3 rooms. So we got out of there pretty quickly. We went upstairs. We're walking around upstairs, and all of a sudden we hear the piano start playing. And this real estate lady looks at me and she said, "You left the door open, didn't you?" And I said, "Yes, I did, because I think it's better that we leave the door open." And I said, "But somebody's playing the piano, so maybe somebody came over and just sat there." So we looked, and just as quickly as we looked, there was a little girl sitting at the piano. And it wasn't any of the big grand concert. It was just a little plink, 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 plink. And she looked at me, she goes, "Where'd that little girl come from?" I said, "I don't know. Are there any neighbors here?" We looked, and boom, nobody there. And she said, "I better go downstairs to see if somebody's in here." And I said, "I'm coming with you because we should not be separated. We don't know who or what is in this house." We went downstairs, looked around, nobody was around, and the front door had been closed. So we went upstairs again, and we're walking around, okay? We're walking around, and it was filled. You see these bookshelves right here? All around were like bookshelves, and they called it a library. I would not, because it was like this veranda type thing. It was all open. You could see the ceiling. It was bookshelf after bookshelf. I mean, you could go up there. There was enough room to walk through and read and do your thing. But it was weird. So we're walking around, and I noticed, she said, "There's supposed to be a master bedroom up here." And I said, "Where is the doorway? Where is this supposed to be?" And I noticed that one of the bookshelves was about ajar, about this much. And I said, "Oh, I bet it's hidden." So we opened that up. We opened up and it was kind of like sliding. And you could see then on the floor, we didn't notice, but where the bookshelf was sliding out for the doorway for the bedroom, there were marks on the floor, like a half moon mark where the bookshelf would slide out. So we go into the primary bedroom, and it was wild. I mean, there was still a 4-poster bed in there that was huge. And I mean, the ceilings had to be at least 15 feet. At 50, I mean, it just did not even match. It was very castle-like, very weird, and I thought, "Oh, I don't think I could live here. This just doesn't fit. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't fit." So we start going through there, and then there is another door that goes up to what they called the planetarium, which was this very narrow staircase that was almost straight up and down. Well, we both went up there. Click, 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 click. She went first, I went second. And we get up there, and it's a big room, and it had this window. It was kind of cool. It had this window that you could probably put some type of a apparatus to look at the stars or do whatever you need to do up there. And I mean, it was kind of, that looking, and it had a rounded top. So it was pretty planetarily designed, if you will. And it had some pictures up there and whatever, but all of a sudden, the door slams to the entranceway to the window did not open, but you could see the sky from where we were. The door slams. She looks at me, I look at her. And she's like, "Oh my God, there's somebody in here." And I said, "I don't think so." She goes running down and she's jiggling the door, trying to get this door open. She's jiggling this door so hard. And she said, "You got to come here and help me." And I said, "How am I going to?" The stairway was so narrow. I mean, it was like shoulder width, and that was it. There would be no way that I could. It was one at a time. So she came back up. I went back down, and I said, "Hey, I'm a big girl enough. I don't mind. We'll do everybody is kung fu fighting, and I'll kick this door in because I need to go get my son." And she's like, "I don't think we can do that." So we tried kicking it. I tried kicking it, would not budge, nothing. I said, "What are we going to do?" She said, "I don't know." And I said, "We got to find this window if it will open." We could not get self-service. We were walking around, and finally I told her, I said, "Look, I'll lift you up. We'll do the cheerleader thing. I'll lift you up. You get close to that window and see if you can get a cell signal," because it was like a half a bar and we could not get anybody out or any signal out. Finally, because we see cars driving by, we're in there pounding on this window. Because the window was pretty big and it was big enough for us to be yelling and pounding on this window. I said, "We've got to get somebody's attention." She finally got a signal and got out, called the fire department. The fire department comes in. We hear them and we're up here. "We're up here. We're up here." And they're walking around the house. This fireman comes up and just opens the door and looks at us like we're a bunch of crazy women. I said, "How did you do this?" He said, "I don't know. It wasn't locked. We just opened the door." I said, "It was locked from the inside." And he looked at his buddy and he goes, are you girls done in here?" I said, "I'm done. I got to go get my son." And she's like, "I'm done. I'm not showing this house anymore." We go outside. The firemen who saved us were standing outside. I got down off that porch and I was near the car. Shaggy, I was near the car because I needed to leave. The fireman looked at us and he goes, "I would suggest that you don't come back to this house. This is the third time we've had to come and rescue somebody from being locked, a real estate agent and somebody else from being locked." He said the last time they were up there was somebody locked in that room for 3 hours. And he said, "I would not do it. Don't come back." And I said, "What's the story?" He said, "The story is what you don't want to hear." Well, of course, the moment I hear that, I want to hear the story. The next day, the real estate agent, her name was Gina, calls me and says, "We need to go out to lunch." And I said, "We're not going to any more houses." She goes, "No, I need to take you, I need to tell you this story." So the story of this house. The story of this house. Back in the day, in the 1800s, late 1800s, when this house was built, it was a pastor and his wife was a midwife nurse. They had children and some disease, I think it was cholera or something, had gone through East Tennessee, and their children got, there were 3 children. All children got it, but the one little girl passed away. No, I didn't buy the house. My son would have never lived there. So the one little girl passed away. Something like that. Something went through. It was bad. This little girl passed away, and they buried her. Because, you know, back then, I mean, you had a family cemetery. It was on your property. You bury them in the back. And there was a little wooded area back there. You buried them. Okay. Years go by. Next thing you know, there was a couple that bought that house about 5 years earlier before it was to sale. They found out this story. Now, this is how nutty people are. I'm just going to tell you. They found this story out. They went in the backyard and they started in the, well, it's in this little wooded area, not in the backyard like you just walk out and there she was. So you had to go out into this little area, this wooded area. They found her and dug her up. So they would dress her. Now, she passed away during a time that they didn't have anything like embalming. They didn't have anything like that. So as she passed away, so they brought her into the house. They had a little bed. They kept her in the back room. She was about 5 or 6. And they kept her in the back room. And we noticed when we looked at the house that there were some little, you know, stuff the little girl would have. It with the area with the small or the short ceilings and all this other. This is a couple that did this. They would take her places. They would go places. And then they decided to go to California from Tennessee. They drove with this poor child. I don't know how they didn't even get caught. Well, they did. They did. They drove with this poor child to California. They put the house up for sale. And something happened. I don't know what happened. But somebody had reported them. And so they were found by authorities, and they were charged with removing an unalived, you know, messing with, I don't know how that all works. I'm not a lawyer. You all know that. So they brought her back. They were legally required by a judge in East Tennessee to bring her back and put her where she was. And they arrested both of them. And when we went into the house, they were both sitting in the pokey. And the house was still up for sale. This is all before embalming, all before, so when you passed away, I mean, this was in the late 1800s. How disrespectful could you possibly ever be? Hello. And I'm sure that's why this house looked so foreboding and so upsetting and so, I mean, and I'm sure that's why we got locked in the planetarium. And, you know, I mean, think about how bloody sick that is. I mean, just horribly sick. And that's what they did. As far as I know, I mean, this was a few years ago. As far as I know, that house did not sell for quite a while. And then somebody went in there, made sure that they cleaned it up the way they need to clean it up. It's there now. It's, I guess, okay. Nothing, she's not disturbed any longer. She's with the family because the rest of the family is buried back there, but they wanted this little girl. They found this little girl. I mean, hello, nutcases. That's my favorite thing to say, nutcase. Well, hello. I believe that is the creepiest thing. That's, to me, is flippin' well creepy. Hello. That would be a great horror movie. That is horror movie stuff. That would be something else. But who in their absolute teetotaling right mind is going to dig somebody up? And believe me, in East Tennessee, and looky here, better with the iron. Look what I've got on. Some little kitties. And they're so cute. Thank you. So anyway, I love them. I just think they are adorable. So thank you so much, Better with Irish. So yeah, it takes all kinds. But from a paranormal stance, not only is it horribly sad, I mean, I found that out, I wanted to cry. That's just so disrespectful. It's no wonder it stirred the pot. And it did. I just knew when I heard that, I said, oh, she wants to be here. This is her home. This is all I knew. I'm sure it was the piano player. I'm sure it was her because she had a little frock thing on. I mean, she was cute as could be. But how bloody. So I don't know what happened to them. I probably should look. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know any of that. I need to look. But that's the condensed version. I have told that story in my Dark Tales of Zelda. And there are even pictures in that house, of the house and in the inside. So you can see. So that's the gist of it. I did see a question here that I wanted to answer. You get all kinds in the paranormal business. And it is very Oh, let's see, darling. I asked my question at the wrong time during your story. Okay, it's okay. But I was wondering, can you turn off seeing things or you just feel it no matter what? I have to turn it off. And I learned a long time ago. In the beginning, a long time ago, I didn't know how. And I struggled. It was horrible. And I had a very hard time growing up. I had a very hard time. I mean, my dad was the son of a preacher man, and we went to this little Lutheran church in this little area, and he just didn't believe any of this. We lived in a haunted house. And my mother actually went to the pastor and said, we lived in a haunted house. And the pastor really was down on her. He was really, I mean, he said that she needed to go get counseling and all that. It caused a rift. And my mom struggled because my mom was well liked in the church, and she, so it was summer, and we would go down to my great grandmother's in another little town. And, they were farm people. I mean, they didn't live on the farm then, but they were farm people. So they would be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, have their breakfast, eat lunch at 10:30. They'd have what they call, they'd have dinner at 10:30. They'd have supper at 3:30, and everybody was tired and ready to go to bed by 7. So we would go down there in the summertime, and finally my mom, my grandmother, my sister and I went down there, and because the pastor of the church said that my mother was struggling mentally, which made me so angry, made a lot of people angry. We started skipping Sundays. We were Lutheran. Started skipping. And my mom and dad were, they were, part of the Luther League. They were head of the, we were involved in the church. My mom, sister, and my mother would play for the church. She would play organ and piano. My mom and sister and I would sing, and, it was just really something. Mom was gifted, but she was very emotional and didn't really know what to do about it. And poltergeists on the farm messed with her. They messed with her. And that's what was so hard. So, and now that I have you, I might as well tell you this story. In this, he did believe in the Holy Spirit, but some pastors are very closed-minded. So we lived in this old farmhouse, and one thing I loved about this old farmhouse is we leased the farm, and I don't think my sister is. We leased the farm, and on the top of the farm, on the barn, it's not there any longer, but on the barn, on the roof, the shingles, they spelled out the name, like they did in Ohio and a lot. They spelled out Harper, 1861. That's the year the barn was built. They went there, and there was a little log cabin beside our house is where they stayed. It was one room cabin. The people that built the house was there in the 1800s, and they built the big farmhouse that we lived in. The big thing, my darlings, is that this house was so beautiful and so interesting, and my mother loved it. My mom could decorate, and she would decorate kind of sort of like in that period, only a little more modernized. It had an upstairs. It had 14-room farmhouse. It had an upstairs. My sister and I would go up there. We'd play restaurant. We'd play whatever else. And Mom and Dad just blocked it off because it was eerie. And we had enough room on the first floor to live. So we just lived on the first floor. So we went to, when we first moved in, the bedroom that my sister and I shared had a door that went in from the living room, and then on the other side of the room went into the hall by the front door, and the big staircase that went upstairs, and then around the other way was my parents' room. Well, about every other night, we would see, my sister and I both, if she were here, she would tell you, my sister and I both would see this entity come over, stand at the bottom of our bed, look at us, and then, we would be sleepy, so she just kind of like disappear. And we always thought it was our mom, because Mom would wear her hair up kind of on top of her head. And the features, the body look, it just resembled our mom. So one night my sister and I are talking about it, and she said, I don't think that's Mom. I said, well, who on earth would it be? And she said, I think it's a ghost. Well, at that point, we had had enough things going on in that house that I said, okay, how do we find this out? She said, we lay awake at night, and then we see who's here. Okay, that's what we'll do. So all of a sudden one night, my sister is like doing this to me under the, now we were in high school. We weren't like little, we were in high school. And wait, I'm sure I'm nowhere. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Amy. Okay. So we're in high school and she's doing this to me. And she's like, say something, say, hey, mom. And I looked at the bottom of the bed, and then kind of across the room was this woman standing there. And it was dark, so you could see like a faint idea, a faint figure. And I said, hey, mom, pardon me, my darlings, pardon me. I said, hey, mom, disappeared just like this. We both screamed. The covers came up over our head. Mom comes, we hear mom come running into the bedroom. And mom looks at us and goes, what's the matter? And my sister couldn't even hardly speak. And I'm like, Mom, we've been seeing you come in here every night. And she's like, well, I don't come in here every night and check on you. And we were like, hello, something is coming in here every night and checking on us. And she's like, oh, so you're seeing some things too? Yeah. Now, that's one instance. There was another one that was really cool. It was during the summer. We had a wonderful voice coach at our junior high and high school. And I was really starting to learn opera at that time and really starting to do a lot of the different things with him. So he gave me records to listen to. Maria Callas was my favorite, and I guess my voice was closest to hers. So he gave me a lot of Maria Callas, gave me the sheet music. My mom was a wonderful pianist. So mom would play, I would learn, then we'd play the record, and I would listen to, all this other, it was just, a family thing. My grandmother would come over. We'd play these little operettas, we'd sing, blah, blah, blah. We'd have lunch, we'd do all kinds of things. And we make big bowls of potato pancakes. That's another thing. I love potato pancakes. If you ever want to get to my heart, I love potato pancakes. Shredded potato pancakes with sour cream and maple syrup. That's a thing. And we would eat big bowls of potatoes pancakes, and we would play these songs, whatever. So this one time I said, I've got this new song that I've got to learn. And Grandma says, let's hear it. Okay. I get the record up, and I was singing it, and I messed up, and it frustrated me. And I said, and I lifted the needle of the record. Hello, now you know what this means. Needle of the record, picture back in the day. I lifted the needle of the record, and lo and behold, there was singing still going on, and it was coming from the upstairs. So we were singing on the downstairs, and I was singing, and you lift it up, and you'd still hear this faint coming from upstairs. And my grandmother, and there was nobody living there, and my grandmother's like, who is that? And I said, I don't know. I don't know who that is, Grandma. And my mom, if you could have seen her face, she went pale. And she said, I hear singing upstairs all the time. When you girls are in school and I'm here by myself, I hear it constantly. And I'm almost afraid to go up there. And I said, I'll go up there. So we go up there, we looked around, da, da, da. We come back down, nothing. Nobody's there. So we're playing this little game, and we're hearing this singing. So that's another instance. Things are happening to my mom. Every time my sister and I would get on the bus to go to school, it would be 7:30 in the morning, and at 7:35 when the bus would leave in front of the farm, the clock on the organ, which was plugged in, the clock on the organ would stop. She would have to unplug it, plug it back in. Every morning while we were in school. In the summer, it didn't do it. But the first day of school, it would do it. Just things like that. She had straw flowers in a big black kettle that was just beautiful, cast iron kettle. Straw flowers that, you know, if you touch them, they just kind of fall apart. They're very fragile. Every morning after we went to school, there would be a red and a blue one that would be pulled out and be placed on the counter right beside there. My mom would put it in. Next day, out again. Nobody went in there and messed with it. There was just nothing. At night, we would be sitting and watching TV, and we would hear things. And of course, we kept our bedroom door closed, and we kept, you know, some other doors closed. And my mom had painted the doorknobs black. Well, some of the paint had come off, and we would sit there and watch the doorknob turn. And we could tell it was turning because some of the paint that would turn would go like this, and then would it go back again. Then go like this, and then go back again. So there were little things that were happening, but they were getting to be more and more. So it was a continual like this. Now, there was something wrong at the farm with the water, and like hot water heater or something like that, something wrong. And so we had the plumber come over. The owner came over, the plumber, my dad was downstairs. They moved all this stuff, and there was a doorway that was carved in the basement, a very small doorway. And they were like, oh my gosh. And they looked, flashlights looked, and it was a room. It was a room in there. Now, my dad hollers, get Zell, get down here, get down here. So I go down in the basement, and he said, crawl through that. And the reason he told me, because I was the skinny, back then, hello, not now, I was the skinniest, because I worked like a whatever on the farm and all the time running and athletic and all kinds of other stuff. So I was like little skinny, and I crawled through this little area, and holy beholdy, it looked like it had been carved out of stone. And the walls came down, and there was like a seat, and then it came down again. And you could see that there was a little light that was coming from outside that you couldn't tell because the bushes from the outside around the house would cover it. So there was light coming into the room. Nobody knew what it was until they went to the library. And until my mom talked to my great grandfather, Grandpa E, for that gentleman in here that asked, who lived in that little town. And it was a house, it was an underground railroad for runaway slaves coming from the south. It was coming from the south up there because my grandpa would see a soldier, my mom would see soldiers, would see all kinds of different things all around. My grandfather and my dad one time went out into the fields because there were a wooded area in the back, that there was a old little camper that had been, I don't know, burned out or something. And my sister and we, there was a bunch of us kids. We wanted Grandpa to come back and look at it. And Dad, we went back there and we're looking over into the other field, and there's a man standing there with gray on. And my grandpa said, "Oh my God." And we were like, "What's this?" And he raises his hand up like this. And my grandpa, I want to cry, raises his hand. It was a soldier. It was a soldier. And you could see it standing in the field. See it. We saw a soldier that would come through our front door of the farm and come through the hallway. You could see him. Half, not a full body, but just half. You could see. So this was an underground railroad. Harper, who built the farm, who had their name on top of the barn, evidently was the one who allowed it. The woman who would come through and check on my sister at night was a nanny that loved the family so much she wanted to stay. So she took care of the kids that were there, and that's why she came in and checked on my sister and I. We found out all of this stuff about this house. It was all Civil War. And I want you to think about it. This was in the 1970s, probably about 1973, 4, 5, something like that. So my great-grandparents were old back then. My great-grandmother, when we would go down to her house for dinner and supper, would sit at the table and tell us stories about her brother. Tell about her uncle who was in the Civil War. So it wasn't that, maybe 110 years earlier. It really wasn't that far. But my great-grandparents still told stories of the Indian uprisings in that area. You talk about rich in history. I'm telling you, I was a little sponge. I just soaked it all up. And once we understood this and knew this, my mom went down to the pastor and said, "Hey, I got to tell you some of this stuff." Well, this pastor poo-pooed my mom, and it caused problems. And my dad and mom ended up getting a divorce. I went with my mom. We moved to another town. My sister stayed there and finished high school, and that was it. That was in 1976. We left the farm. Boy, I felt that was my beloved farm. So, funny enough, the house, when my sister graduated from high school, my dad left and went into an apartment. The pastor's son moved in. His name was Ralph. Ralphie moved in before he got married, was single, and moved out not that much longer afterward because the place was haunted and he couldn't stand it. And my mother, it was like she just received a medal when we found out that happened. That's the only details I know. But it was as though you would have thought that she would have gotten a blue ribbon for potato salad at the fair. She was, now she didn't want anybody hurt or in stress, but it validated what we had all felt. And my dad poo-pooed it. I mean, he just didn't even think about it. He poo-pooed it. Um, I was born in Ashland, Ohio. Now that should give you the area, sort of, kind of. So anyway, it was hilarious. And I gotta tell you, it was, even my mom told my dad, you see, because my dad would get mad and he would tell my mom, all of you you girls, my sister, my mom, myself, he thought we were all crazy. He always thought I was crazy because I had, saw stuff all the time. But so when that happened, my mom was like, I keep coming across that because it's like, and of course, both my parents are gone now, and my grandparents, but it's one of those things that you just kind of keep coming back to, and you keep kind of thinking, we saw a soldier in the field. What was that soldier up to? Is it the same soldier that was in the house? But when we found this out, we went down and spoke to my great grandfather, and he heard all this. He told us, because there was a divided highway that went through, and that area, and the lane wasn't a driveway, it was a lane. They cut through the lane to put the divided highway. That's how big this piece of property. Of course, they chopped it up and, whatever the case. But isn't that something? And there, I just thought, oh, it's still there. I went up when my dad passed away in 2017. I went up to Ohio and I visited his grave. And of course, I went past the house, took pictures. It's still there. The owner's daughter moved in, and she made the place a show place. It's beautiful. But then she built the house further back into the wooded area. And I don't know. I mean, we heard things from other people that had lived there. One of the people that was working on the farm, who had lived there, they were all experiencing something. So I was so glad that my mom was validated. And of course, years went by and, all that other, but oh yeah, it's still there. Probably will be there. And that house will probably outlive us, me, whatever. But those are a couple of stories that I have. I mean, I've got 110 more. So let me see if there's any comments that I need. Does anybody have any questions, anything like that? Well, let's do this. I saw a few things come through. And Jules, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. You are a blessing. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Candy is a member for 1 month. Bless you, my darling. Bless you. The Goodmans, thank you for being here. Are now members of Fate and Fortune with True Oracle. And don't forget, it won't be this Sunday, but the following Sunday. Let me give you a date, because we just had one, and yes, my internet messed up and I wasn't able to finish. So it'll be the 24th of August. We will have another members only with Fate and Fortune with True Oracle. But I just want to ask you a favor. Let's get, let's get the, what am I thinking? Link, hello. in the chat. The link in the chat, my darlings, please do me a favor, click on that link and it will take you to, I'm simulcasting, collaborating with True Oracle right now. Come over there. Let's get that membership up to, and you can stay there. You're going to see the same thing. Let's get that, not membership, well, you can, but subscriptions, let's get this up to 4,000. Let's get it up to 4,000. Pardon me. So that way we can have a huge celebration this Saturday night. We're going to be talking about some things. We're going to do EVPs. We're going to be asking questions about different things. There's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a giveaway for True Oracle. All right, my darlings. So there we go. Every Thursday night, I'm going to be here talking about ghost hauntings. What if you're already haunted? Current hauntings. Just so you know, I can do a remote investigation. As long as the cameras on your end work, I've done that before. So if you want to hire me to come in and look and see if there is something there with you, you can certainly contact True Oracle or at me, Seeing Crime. So there we go, my darling. So yes. The link is at the top of the chat. The link is at the top of the chat. So there you go. So yeah, I was very blessed in growing up with a family that has nothing, pardon me. Did you ever have, I don't know what it is. Well, you see my allergies are bad, but I don't know what it is. But today, any glasses feel so tight on me, it's like hello. So we'll try it again. All right, there we go. Please put the link here as well. And let me see if I still have it. Let me see if I still have it. I think that's it. Let me do this. Is that it? Is that the link? Somebody click on it. I was thinking it is. That's the link for True Oracle again. Oh no, am I out of root? No, I take the rootology. Thank you. She also bought me some rootology. I'm not out. I'm almost out, but I can tell you, this house is very dusty. The one that I live in, there's people above. It's not cat hair. It is just dust and the vents need to be cleaned out just the way it is, but it works. Rootology works. Okay, yes, same link, great. Please, tickety-doo-dah on over to True Oracle. There we go. Hi, it's linked. Good show. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll get us up to 4,000. But this is going to be a limited series, my darlings. And if you want to, I would really like short. Don't write me like, hello, this is my, whatever. But I want to be able to. I've tried it all. I've tried air purifiers. I've tried it all, and it's just hard to combat. So anyway, every Thursday night, I'm going to be here at 7 p.m. I want to read your stories. I want to share your things, but I'm going to tell, here's what else I want to do. I want to talk about the goings on with a lot of the current paranormal things that are happening, as in Annabelle at the Warren Museum in Connecticut. I won't go. The new owners, Matt Rife, and there's a YouTuber, Elton, I can't remember what his name are, or I can't remember what his name is. I'm not in Massachusetts. I'm not anywhere near Massachusetts. Tickety boom bah, right? So, Annabelle, do I think that was a wrong thing? Yes. These things need to be taken so seriously, and they're going to open up the Warrens' home as an Airbnb. Matt Rife, is he taking it seriously? Oh, let me see. Patty, my darling. Zelda, you want mention paranormal in some of the trial situations or legal situations? That would be amazing. I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of things that are happening now. And in some of these, well, let me, I get so distracted. I see you guys talking and I just want to be going on. You know, that's what it is. So if it sounds like I'm stuttering, I am, because I'm reading your chats and talking at the same time. And walking and chewing gum is difficult. So, yes. Yes, my darling. Yeah, some of you have written to me, but I could not upload them in StreamYard, and I don't know what's going on. For those of you who missed it, I'm going to play this again. I don't know what happened today. I was recording the intro. If you missed the introduction, I was recording the intro. I made everything. I was putting it together. And I played back this one piece. I recorded it all at the same time. But this one track, this one segment, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm going to play it for you again right now. Listen very closely to the end. Listen to the end. And this is, I did not do this. So listen to the end. This is Scooby-Doo, who is blind in one eye and walks around mad constantly. Here we go. I'm going to play this.
What you're about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help! I'm Haunted. And how?
Did you hear that? And how? That's, I didn't do that. That is so weird. I'm going to play it again because, hello, I don't get it.
What you are about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help! I'm Haunted. And how?
That happened today. And I expect more things to happen. Because as we're getting, this time of year, the energy ramps up. And I just want you to know I have 227 people watching. But this time of year, the energy ramps up. Why? Yes, listen. Why? It's because we all start getting into this fall mood. More people are doing paranormal investigations. More people are doing things. More people are doing some weird stuff. And of course, last Saturday night, the spirit box was, hold on. Goodbye now, sister. Go on. The spirit box was very chatty because Ms. Melanie was here. And I think that the energy of John wanted to say, oh, hello, wanted to say something. And he did. It kept on. It kept on. And believe me, it was just unbelievable. Hello to each of you coming in. So there's going to be more and more coming in. Look here, hello. There's going to be more coming in. The spirit box that I shared with Melanie, let me take a look and see which one it is. There were a few of them. There were 2 or 3, I think. Let me see. Oh, I don't have it on this phone. Ghost Hunter Tools. Ghost Hunter Tools is where it is. Ghost Hunter Tools. So anyway, there's going to be more and more things happening. as time goes on, when we get closer to Halloween, Hallows Eve, All Saints Day. Ow, no, you don't do that. Grabbing the earrings. So she's a little puppy. So we're going to be doing this more and more. I'm going to tell you about the hauntings that I'm in the house or the condo that I'm in right now. I'm going to be telling you, I mean, I've got so many stories, but I want to share some of your stories too. John came through. He wanted to say a few things. And just so you know, I have written down and sealed. He has pointed the finger to mainly 3 people, but there are 4 involved of what happened to him. So we'll see. We'll see. Yes, I think last Saturday, Miss Mel was hungry, tired, needed probably take a little break. But it just went by so fast. It was so much fun. It was wonderful. So, yeah. So we're going to be doing that. But this Saturday night, hopefully we can celebrate the 4,000 subscribers for True Oracle. And we can get a lot more happening. I'm going to tell you, in some of these cases, when I ask, are these people being haunted? Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. There are 4 people. I've known that for a long time, and he's mentioned them, and I saw 2 of them in the remote viewing. I can't say it. I legally will be in trouble if I say it, and that's what I've been told by a couple of attorneys, and I'm not going to, because I don't want to end up in legal trouble, because I don't have money to spend on legal proceedings, and that's just the way it is. Hold on a minute. When will I be deciphering John O'Keefe's words? He did so many the other night that the recording, it stopped, because usually there's that you like a record of the words, and it was skipping over words because it was going so quickly. Melanie was writing them down. I wrote some of them down. So there we go. Zelda is at the ones we would normally think of. Maybe. There's 2 you probably wouldn't. Maybe you would. Maybe you would. Maybe you would. Let me see. We need to get that Zoom call. Okay. We're not going to do a Zoom call. I will see what we can do. True Oracle, Mrs. Marie. We will do something on Signal. So if you don't have Signal already, look at Signal. It will be a paid event, and the reason, and I hate to do that, but the reason it will have to be a paid event because it keeps the trolls from coming out, and I don't want trolls to have my Signal information. So with that said, I will let you know, and how that will work is once I announce it, once you pay and you tell me who you are, then in return, you will get a link. I don't know when it's going to be yet. I don't know how it's going to, I don't know. But with that, Signal is the best place that we can do things. I'm going to tell you a lot of things that'll blow your mind. And it's not about court cases. It's about things as in the house that Bing Crosby used to live in. A lot of things like that. Who's got this kitty is getting me upset. Get down. She's has to get after the earrings, and I just don't like that. Get down, sister. So and as time goes on, and you see things now with Aiden are starting to build up. No, you want to go in the room? As things start building up, you're going to see a lot of this energy. It's like stirring the pot. It stirs the pot. Jen stirred the pot. I'm just going to say this. If I were Jen, I would be defecating in biblical proportion right about now. And I ain't kidding. Because there's some stuff happening. There's some stuff happening. So there you go. So when we get it together, I'm going to be putting it together. I'm going to be doing the vampire podcast. I'm a guest on a vampire podcast. I'm going to be asking a lot of questions for all of you that will listen. And no, it's not dangerous. Everybody just needs to calm down. I'm not even going to be there with this person. There's no energy transfer. There's no anything. It is not Hollywood. The majorities of the vampires that I know that are real, they don't go in public. They keep to themselves. They kind of hide. They stay to themselves. That is coming. So believe me, my darlings, and I'm going to tell you what, I know some of you have ordered readings. Be patient, because here we put a 72-hour time limit on those, is because what was happening, people would be ordering readings and their payment hadn't cleared yet. So we were concerned about that sort of thing. So within 72 hours it will clear, and then I will do your reading. So just be patient. I've got a lot of readings that I'm doing. So that is another thing. Let me see. Jen is going to be listening to the ice cream truck. All right, here we are. Zelda, can you at least tell us if it was planned or truly accidental? If you can't, I do understand. Okay, I'm going to say it this way. There was a confrontational plan. There was a plan to confront John. There was a plan to also get Karen there. I can't speak for Karen, but I think that Karen possibly had an idea that something was going on that would have been something that would not normally be an activity that you and I would be doing. I don't know, maybe it would. Think of the calls. Think of what she said in the calls to John. So it was not, that part of it was not planned. But there was a planned confrontation. And I believe that whole day beforehand, that in my opinion, Brian Albert started getting Higgy all worked up about it, getting him upset, getting him enraged, frustrated. And you know how it is when you're drinking. You get 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and your mind kind of goes crazoid. So by the time everybody got to the Waterfall bar, there was some crazy things that were going through the thought processes. So there we are. So Karen knew how Jen felt about her, in my opinion. Do I think that house is haunted? 34 Fairview, when this is over, when it's over, I might reach out to the dear owners of 34 Fairview and say, hey, do you mind if I listen, or do you mind if I visit? Do you mind if I do a little bit of work here? Well, we're not going to talk about those things, please, in the chat. All right. So I know there's some references there that are going on, so let's just be careful. Careful, careful. Oh my goodness, careful, careful. Okay. So I just would love to talk to them and see, are they experiencing anything? I look at that house and I get the, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We just have to be real careful. But there's just something about that house. And we may, well, no, I get it. Let me say this, okay? It's not so much YouTube as that they have community guidelines. The reason they have community guidelines is so that they get advertisers. That's how they make their money, and that's how I make my money. So if some things in the chat are talked about, the algorithm and the bots automatically think that I am promoting something that I should not be. Then they lose their advertisers. And if they lose their advertisers, then I lose my funds. And I have so far, out of the last 6 of live streams, I have lost 3 of my ad, and that's a big, this is my full-time job. I mean, I do the, and I don't want to talk about this, but I'm going to say it. I do this. This is my main thing. I work on the psychic line. I do readings. I do all this other, but this is my bread and butter, and I cannot lose this. And before Miss Melanie came on, that's why I talked with her. I was very concerned about losing this channel because it just felt like I couldn't get my point across. And by losing the ad revenue, and it's not YouTube fault, they have community guidelines. But that's why I have this QR code up here, or up here rather. It's because through there I get 100%. YouTube takes 30% out of all donations, including memberships, including everything. So there you go. So yeah, now I have put, you should see my settings, because I put all these words in there, and still some of those words can sneak through. It's really horrible. And then I have the trolls who really want to come in and do they want to purposely hurt. So there you go. So there you go. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I have to set my boundaries. There's just that, well, I want you to think about it. This is why Aiden has difficulty keeping monetization, because it's not YouTube, it's the community guidelines for the advertisers. If you lose an advertiser, and a big one, oh, it's bad news. Bad news. It doesn't matter what product you use better, or Irish girl. It doesn't, they cannot, they can't discern whether it's Apple or Android or whatever the case. So that doesn't have a part of it. It's just that, like, say for instance, they know when I post a video, and on this, I have to state, does this video talk about things you're not supposed to be talking about? Is the language okay? Are you talking about anybody that's been harmed? Are you talking about anything that's been going on? Are you thinking about, are you talking about certain things like bad things that happen to people? Are you talking about this? For me, I'm not a news outlet. I can't talk about that sort of thing. I am a Pisces. So for me, I can't, I just think there's a sinister feeling to the house family, the whole thing. There's pentagrams somewhere. Maybe. I just think it's because of the energy that these families had that's left over. This is why, that's correct, Amy. This is why people say unalived, red rum, taken out, grape, giraffe. This is why there's all these little funky, you know, words that you have to get. But I can tell you this, they've been said so many times. Now the algorithm is picking up on it. So we just have to be as respectful as possible. And, you know, because quite frankly, getting an audience on Rumble is horrible. They have so many trolls over there, and you can't you just can't contain it. The talkie tick can't contain it, and you don't make any money on there. I'm just sorry. Yes, I do have Venmo. There's a Venmo QR code. I've got a little banner here. You don't have to, but my darlings, I appreciate it. I appreciate this. This is what I do. This is what I do. So the safe words are basically, you just think about it. Someone passed away. Someone did something to another person that caused them to pass away. I mean, yeah, it's a different way for us to be talking. But hello. And you know what? I don't have another platform to go to. And if I got demonetized, you know, I can't use True Oracle because it'll tank them because the algorithm is different. So I can't do that. I can't go to Twitch because my son is on Twitch. I'm just going to tell you, he's a gamer. He's a gamer, and I'm telling you, I have seen these troll type people come in and literally crucify people when there's. I tried Kick one time, and Kick, you should have seen the messages that some troll came in and left me. It was horrible. I'm not going to do it again. So, you know, I just figure I have to look at YouTube as my child in some regard, and someone that I'm keeping so close to me that I love, because where else would I be able? Listen, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to have a membership for all of us that if you paid a certain price once a month, we would have, let me see if I can figure out a way to say it. A mystery, a red rum mystery game that only members only that was in a certain category could do it. And do you know that YouTube said if you do that, and if you do it, and you're not approved to do it, we'll just shut you down. I can't do that. But that's just a game. It would be a game like Clue. I saw somebody at the window. It would be a game like Clue. So there we are. Now, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I mean, this is why when you go on with Miss Melanie, this is why she's very strict in what she says. This is why, and it's many other creators that lose their ad stuff. Sometimes it's per channel. But there for a while, after losing 3 in a very short period of time, I was kind of scared. And you don't get a warning. They just take you down. Boom, done. And building another channel, I've been on here since 2018. And it was only through Karen Reed that I really got, because once I started doing readings on Karen Reed, I had enough that I was able to get monetized. I was monetized in 2 weeks. You have to have a certain view count, you have to have a certain subscriber account, you have to put in every time you upload a video, you have to say, this does not go against your guidelines. This, I mean, it's a business. We got to treat it like a business. So there you go, my darlings. That's it. That's it. So I don't want to seem like I constantly grift on this, because I'm not. I want you to, I'm your favorite grifting psychic, right? Hello? But I just wanted you to know. I know some of them do. Now, if you're a news outlet like Boston 10 or any of those, you can say all that. It just depends, because each one of us make different ad revenue. There's a certain categories that you fall into. Each one of you, everybody makes different. So there's not a set ad revenue. It's XYZ per view, XYZ per this. I don't know how the formula goes, but all I know is that I know I can't know enough. And I'm constantly taking classes. I'm constantly making art for other channels. I'm constantly doing things, because you don't know. You don't know. Some people have sent some things in, and oh my goodness, here we are. Jules, don't look, a beautiful lady. Oh my goodness, became a YouTube member. Welcome, for your generosity. Thank you so much. Casey, hello, became a YouTube member. Welcome to the fold. Thank you so much. Disney nerd, look at you, darling. Love this channel, Lady Zelda, Captain Jerry, and Chad. We love you too, and thank you. And I got to tell you what, my beautiful mod, Jerry, she's just like my sidekick. I got to tell you this. New member, Carolyn, bless you, my darling. You look, I got to tell you what, I just love how beautiful inside and out all of you look. And you're so generous, and I want to thank you so much for everything that you do. So thank you, thank you. So, but it's not YouTube, my darling. It's not YouTube. They do have a clear demarcation between adult and kids. They do. When you upload, because they do have things like parent controls, but like when I upload a video, I have to specifically say, is this a content for kid or no? And those people who make kid content, their channels are so scrutinized, and they make a lot less. I mean, they don't hardly make anything. But frankly, I've tried Facebook, I've tried Instagram, this is the best outlet for me, because I can probably do the most here. I can do the most. Patreon, I'm on Patreon. So, but it's hard for me to put anything on there, because I have to use YouTube unlisted videos. And everything else costs a lot of money to put that on there. So there you go. There you go. Mel, hello, my darling. Look at that. I love it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Is that a $2 bill? Mel Plum. Welcome to the membership fold. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And the way you have to look at it is just really a matter of time. The problem is they go through the creators that are live. So when you're live, it's like, but it is. I mean, it is I love that, Mel. I love it. It's a $2 bill. What's that song? $2. Anyway, there's a song. There we go. Oh, there we are. New member. Hello, Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. I have 2 paid memberships on YouTube, and this channel is one of them. I don't have a lot to spend. I appreciate that your memberships are affordable. That's the idea. That's the idea. I want you, this is your home. This is what I want. Okay. Lady Zelda, please explain to me how the feds got involved in our Karen's trial. Was it due to poor Sandra? I think it was before then, in my opinion. Nobody really knows. But I think that there were some things that were sniffing around. And I think that it was completely localized and concentrating on that particular DA office. I can say it that way. And then poor Sandra Birchmore happened. And then because DA Meatball is totally convinced that it was self-induced by, that's what he says. So he has never charged Matthew Farwell on a state level, which that's kind of an anomaly. But I don't know. I'm not a legal beagle. We'll have to ask Miss Mel or whomever else you talk with. But it seems that it's just that weird. I know people, agents, of course they don't say anything, but they don't like things. But there's going to be some things that are going to be happening in Massachusetts right now. They're not going to be good for a lot of people. And it is a statewide thing, and I hope it doesn't happen. So there we go. Try Substack. I've tried. The biggest thing is moving your audience, because look how many I have of you. Can I move 12,000 people? That gets hard. So, if I just had 200 or 300 and I went, then it would not be so bad. But I'm not 12,000. I'm at 11,150, 60, something like that. Almost 11,200 is what I was thinking. That's hard. And even with True Oracle, trying to move 4,000 people becomes tough. But I appreciate it, because you know what? I'm going to just tell you this. If something happens and go out into the great unknown and you can't find this channel, look for True Oracle. And that's why I want you to become members over there too, because look for True Oracle. Because I will definitely put something in the community tabs over there, and we'll do some things. But I really don't want her channel taken down either. So, but I think it'll be okay. Terry, bless you. Lady Zelda, love you back. You work so hard for us. Blessings. Well, you know what? Quality. Let me tell you what. Oh, I still have my earpiece in. Hello. Why is that happening? That's not good. My earpiece for work. I've got stories about Amazon and how they they come up about 5-7 feet from the door. And if I get a package, they just toss it. Well, I ordered cat food because I get all my cat food from Amazon. It's cheaper. It's Rachel Ray, but it's cheaper to have it delivered, and it's cheaper per pound to buy it on Amazon and have it delivered than it is for me to buy it in the grocery store. Buy about $5 a bag. Woofy. So I always buy it on Amazon. And I needed to get some hair detangler because the ends are starting to get some serious nap action here. So I don't even know why I started this. Anyway, I see the Amazon guy come up, and they always come up in front of my window, and he stops, and he's got this package. I know my cat food's in there. I know the spray is in there, the detangler spray, the detangler spray. All of a sudden, I see this guy toss it, and it lands at my front door, and the detangler spray broke, and it was leaking all over my package. I'm gonna tell you, Zell was lit. Zell was lit. Yeah, I don't like this. Something's got to happen with this hair. Something's got to happen. I can't deal with it. It's just too much. It's just something's got to happen. So Zelda was lit, and I walked out, bare feet and all, to the end of this sidewalk thing here, and I'm holding up my package going, "Hey, excuse me, young man. Hey, excuse me." And he looks at me and I said, "My package is ruined. What are you going to do?" So I open it in front of him. And there I picked this up, and it's just dripping, sopping all over the place. Thank God the cat food comes in this plasticky type stuff that it didn't hurt it. And I said, "No. What am I supposed to do?" "Well, I can take it back." Right. And so you can come up here and toss it again. I said, "I just want you to know I'm watching. I sit right here. I'm like Mrs. Kravitz. I watch." So anyway, there we are. That's my Amazon story for today. That was my excitement because I work home. I work remotely. I have been working remotely for years, decades. I've owned my own businesses, worked for decades. Thank you so much for your kind thoughts. Yeah, I should have been. I was lit. I don't get angry, but oh, I know what it is. I believe in giving people quality. If you pay for, I just believe in that. Just like my House of Zelda cards, I make them myself. Sometimes they may not. Since when do you ever go up to McDonald's or any of these places and the burger that you get looks like the one on the menu? So it's one of those things that I believe in giving. That's why I want memberships that are affordable for you to be here, because it helps to support me, it helps to support the channel, and I'm so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you that I can come on here and be talky, because you know what? I get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm talking from the moment that I get up, and I'm talking until the moment that I go to bed. What? So yeah, there we are. Thank you, my darling. Look at your little dreads. I love that. Golden. To me that's bravery. I can't do that because first of all, you look adorable. I would look like there's an old woman that's wanting to wear dreads. Have a nice life. So there you go. But you're adorable. You're adorable. Thank you so much. You got that right. Zelda is a talker. She's a talker. I cannot wait until we see these people. Oh, no, listen. John will have justice because there's so much the court of public opinion. The court of public opinion is stepping in, and there is so much. If some craziness starts happening and they start look who's here. This person here. If there's any tomfoolery, we're done with these people. This is all of us right now. We want justice for John, and we're not going to give up. We also want justice for Enrique Sandra and Baby, many others. And the tomfoolery, and Aiden, the tomfoolery that these court systems have. My darlings, for any of you, which cat is in the backdrop? This one, Sammy. That's Sammy. It's my girl. She's an old girl like me. But the tomfoolery now that they're proposing to do, that the governor is proposing to do in Massachusetts, come down and just move to be close to me. I could not live in a state that does that sort of thing. That's going to be not so good. I'm afraid once we have our little private event on Signal, that you guys are going to say, Zelda, you are so far out. Pardon me, sister, what are we doing? I'm afraid that you're all going to say, Zelda, you're so far out, chick. What planet did you decide to drop from? This is Sammy. When I first got her, I lived in Tennessee and was going through a very hard time. And I always said that I just needed somebody. I was living with Shrek. That was horrible. Living with Shrek. And one day I went outside and she was little then. And the neighbor man was holding her. And he said, oh, I'm about ready to go to Knoxville and take her to my sister. I said, you're not taking her anywhere. She's mine. And he looked at me and laughed. He said, do you know how to take care of a cat? I said, do I know how to take care of a cat? Hello. Of course. He said, well, I've got some litter in the car. You sure you? I said, I'm taking her. So he gave me litter and food. And this poor child, she was an outside cat. She's feral. I fixed a little box for her. Look at this. Let me just rub. I fixed a little box for her. And that night, this little child slept. I had to check on her a couple of times because I thought maybe she passed. That's how hard she was sleeping. She slept so hard, and I'm going to tell you, she ate. She ate like a champion. I mean, it was like, can you clean out the refrigerator? If you're my new mama, I'm a needing to eat now. So that's exactly, and this is what we go through at night. She's tired. Okay, mommy, you talked for so long. We've got to go to bed. We've got to cuddle because what shows are we on? And I'm running out of shows because Gilded Age now is done. Outlander is done. Okay, sister. So, Just Like That is done. So anyway, this little sweet pea, I don't know if I can do the new Dexter. I don't know if I can do that. Severance from Apple TV is not on. Boy, that's a good one. And, I hate to go back through the old, Virgin River. That's on Netflix, that show. So anyway, she eats me, just eat, 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 eat. So she didn't know how to go to the bathroom. She would be pacing, looking around. So I got another little box, went outside, and I got a bunch of, she didn't know litter. I went outside, got a bunch of leaves and grass, a little bit of dirt, and put it in my bathroom and said, look, here's your potty box. See, right there's mommy's. This is yours. I saw Landman. Go to Bloodline was so good on Netflix. Hello. So she learned how to go to the potty box, and eventually I would put litter in it, and then she got out one day because Shrek was mad at me. And he pushed her outside, and she ran. Oh, I was just devastated. She came back the next day, and just a few weeks later, we had the first litter of babies. That's where Riley came from. So anyway, she's a girl, but she's here with Mama. Look at her. She's like, whatever. I don't give. I'm here for the duration. So she's an old girl like Mama. Sorry. She's gonna be here. So anyway, that's about it. That's what's going on. I need blood. Oh yeah, gosh. Me too. Bloodline. Hello. What's that guy's name? I was like, oh my gosh. I love programs like that. But you know what I told my son last night? Tulsa King, I saw. I told my son last night, I said, we had Lord of the Rings, epic stuff. We had The Hobbit. We had Game of Thrones, yes. Ozark. Hello. Ozark. Where are the epic stories? I want to see some epic stuff here. Then there was the what was it, the off thing of Game of Thrones. I forget what that one's called. I watched that one. See, I don't watch regular stuff. Then I went through all the vampire movies. True Blood. Then there was the originals. I like that. Then it started getting stupid. I want to see some stuff. I don't know, their storylines, there was a problem there. You better back up, Petey. You know how she is. She won't watch this. She's looking at Petey. You're going to get in trouble. You see these eyes? It's like, glare, glare, glare. So, Queen's Gambit, saw that one. I mean, Discovery of Witches, hello. Was that not good? Oh. So I've seen them all. And then I've got House of Dragons. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Mitchell. Thank you. Mitchell Samuels. Thank you. Sparkly vampires. Yeah. Anne Rice, I'm going to tell you this. Sorry. Anne Rice, this lipstick doesn't come off for about a day. No matter how, whatever. Oh. Now, I haven't seen that Outlander, Kelly. Do I need to? Alchemy of Souls. Maybe I need to watch that one. I've been hearing a lot about that. But I don't have regular television because I've got Roku, and then I've got some streaming services, but I've got Turner Classic Movies. But they've been having some dumb things on there. You know what I don't know if any of you remember, I was talking about that movie from the 70s that was called Gargoyles. I saw just a couple of days ago where they're talking about that movie now and how that movie, their makeup and everything was something else. Okay, that reminds me. Hold on. It's dropped off. It was prequel series. Yes, I'm thinking I might see that. Bedtime for me. Upstairs. All right, my darling. Thank you so much, Linda, for being here. Look at that baby pity pat. Thank you. Let me see. Somebody. Okay, here we are. Hold on. I lost the chat's going kind of quick. Okay. Does your channel make more revenue if we watch the entire ads and not yes. Yes. If you could do that, if you can stomach seeing the ads, thank you. If you cannot donate, If you cannot do any of that, just watch an ad or two that comes up, please. Now, I don't know if this happens, but the Tubi here is supposed to be rolling out this thing that while you're watching, if you don't have YouTube Premium, while you're watching, you're still supposed to be able to see me, and an ad is still supposed to be coming on. I don't know. They've only rolled that out for a few people. Also, they've rolled out that if you hit the like button, sometimes it'll neon, illuminate, bop, boop, whatever the case. You can try that too. But thanks for that question, because it does help. If you watch the ad, thank you so much. Kat, thank you. Gifted, welcome to the lucky receiver of the YouTube membership. I don't choose that. I wish I could give away memberships and I can't. There's not that capability. So thank you, thank you. Thank you for that, my darlings. Lady Z, do you watch Svengoolie Saturdays? Sometimes I do. And there's another one. There's another one that comes on, and they play these old movies. And it's this, he's from the UK, I think, and they have this lurch-looking guy. Who is that? Oh my gosh, I can see it now. He's got like dark black hair that's kind of fuzzy, and he sits in this chair. And then this young girl that comes through, she's got a pretty dress on, but she's got some different makeup on. Okay. Oh, Kelly, look at this. My Kelly Austin. Hi. My Austin says, hi, Fesliyan. Oh, hi, Austin. Hi, my darling. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. So happy that you are. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good night. Thanks for being here, because I love it. And we are 227 people that are watching. So the energy is ripe for the taking. There you go. Hold on. I haven't watched the most recent season, but I need to. Okay. Oh, hold on. Christy said, yes, oh, look how beautiful you are, my darling. Yes, I can see you and the ad. Oh, how cool is that? Thank you. Thank you. Because I think it's supposed to be so you don't miss anything that's going on, I think. So I don't know. I don't know. On BB. Same here. I don't see Lady Zelda either. Aw. Oh, I know. Listen, I'm spoiled by YouTube Premium. Believe me, I am spoiled by that. Believe me. Let me see. Premium pays a flat fee. Yes, but we don't get anything from YouTube Premium. So if you get YouTube Premium, the creators, it goes directly to YouTube. Probably should. I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Kara, thank you. Thank you for another. Is that the same one? Or is it a different one? No matter what it is, thank you. And I'm so glad that you're here. Appreciate your generosity. Thank you. Thank you. No ads, right? I thought it was because I am on the phone. Oh, maybe it could be that you're on the phone. You know what? I'm going to show your comments here. I like that feature because some of you watch on the television and you should be seeing that right here. So now I want to ask you something. This is going to sound weird, but I have to start planning. And the question is, I'm going to do a Halloween show. Let me see. Let me see here. When Halloween, what day Halloween is. Somebody's hitting my TV in the other room because they're chasing birds. They're watching cat TV. Halloween is on a Friday night. I think I'm going to ask a special guest, maybe 2 or 3 special guests to come on. So yes, I want to do a Halloween show. And any of your suggestions, I will take very much consideration. So please, please think. Halloween is on a Friday night. Ooh, I got some Halloween stories. Ooh, of Halloween haunted houses that I used to work in as a grifting gypsy psychic. Gee, go figure. Um, Judy F. Good question, my dear. Oh, looky there. Do you choose which ads run, or is it's just random? The ads choose me. It's the ad. Now, I've seen some rank ads go on some, like adult. I can go on and filter who, what ads come on my channel because, sometimes you do have kids watching and I don't want that stuff. So, I have a filter. That's it. It's whoever says, "Oh, there's a grifting psychic. We can get some ads out of her." Yeah, okay. That's pretty much what they do. So yeah, very rank. Hello. I wish I could do a live ghost hunt with microdots. And I don't know if you heard on Saturday night, Miss Melanie and I want to do something, and we're going to invite Richie also. Don't know when this is all coming because I've got things now. I'm booked, I'm working, and I want to get moved, but we'll do all this. Yes, yes. Oh gosh, I know the Instacart song. Oh, please. I get it. I get it. Thank you so much for all of your compliments and everything else. Yes, I'm thinking what I might do is for a Halloween little show, I might have one like a week earlier, like the Saturday before, so I can show you some little Halloween snacks that I always make at Halloween because me being the one that I am, Halloween week is very important because Turner Classic Movies always has the Hammer movies the whole week of Halloween, starting from the week before, usually the whole month of October, about the middle of October. And I have these little quick and easy little snack recipes for my son and I. And it's so funny because we don't watch together. He's always busy. My son is a professional gamer, plays in tournaments, does all that stuff. He's on Twitch. He does all that stuff. So we stream at the same time. And yes, I am working on some of the cookbook recipes that I have. I love Turner Classic Movies. So when they have the Hammer movies are my favorites. The Vincent Price and the Peter Cushing and the Christopher Lee and the Werewolf and Frankenstein, all of those things. So I'm thinking I may make, I might just do a video of it. So as I'm making them, so you can see, here's my Zelda snacks, psychic snacks, and whatever for Halloween. So yeah, so I'm trying to think because I have to tell you, I'm still back in March, planning things, and today I was writing in my little book to whomever got me these little planners. I love them. And there should be a link in my description. Maybe there's not. I think it's not there. But I love it. I've been planning and making, so, and then I thought today, should I do some makeup thing? No, I don't know. Scooby snacks, yes, hello. We need this. Sammy snacks, she's mommy's girl. So there's all kinds of little things, and then I'll make them. And my son goes to his space, corner of the world, and I go to my corner of the world. And I invite the vampires and the werewolves and the zombies and all this others to come in. So there we go. There we go. Okay, Angie. A portion of the YouTube Premium subscription fee is allocated to creators based on their content watch time. This means creators still earn revenue from viewers who have opted out of ads with YouTube Premium. I didn't know that because in my revenue, there's always a breakdown. There's so much for ad revenue. There's so much for shorts. So much, and I do not put a lot of shorts out there. I'll tell you why. Is because it's like 2 or 3 cents. I made 47 cents on 4 shorts that got something like 4,000 views. But it brings people here to the channel. So I don't see anything. Maybe I'll look a little closer. I've never seen anything from YouTube Premium. Maybe my channel is too small. I don't know. I don't know. I've not seen anything with True Oracle either. So I don't know, my darlings. So there you are. Oh no, that's so helpful. Don't be, no, I appreciate it. That was very helpful. That was very helpful. I would love to see Melanie here for that. I think she would love that. Thank you much. Well, I'm thinking I will invite her. If you're watching, Miss Melanie, if you can come with us for Halloween. But it's a Friday night. She may have plans. She's got kids. But I'll ask because I know she'll come back again, and we want her. And I think she had a really good time. I think she did. I am just really thrilled about that, quite frankly. And I was a little nervous because I thought, well, here's Miss Melanie. And, you know, I know some other creators that had somebody on and their interviews would tank a little bit. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but you know, she just means so much to me. And so I didn't want her to feel disrespected, or I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable or anything like that. But the moment that she started talking about a lot of things, spirit box and all this, hello. Yeah, she's lovely inside and out. We're definitely going to, we're going to invite her again. She'll be on again. She'll be on again. I love it. Love to watch shorts also. Yeah, I like to watch them too, but I watch them on the Talkie Tick. So there you go. Now, I don't know. I'm thinking for a Halloween show that I was thank you so much, everyone. You guys are just, I have the best chat. Well, most of you are on with Melanie anyway. But I was thinking for Halloween to tell some of the things about a vampire worse than Vlad, the vampire in, you know, Ottoman. It is a female. I was thinking about telling some of those stories. Werewolf, not my nice vampires. Vampires from the past. Things about that sort of thing. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, she really, well, Ms. Melanie is an empath. It is Elizabeth Bathory. Elizabeth Bathory that makes Vlad look like Ronald McDonald. I was so happy. She just really felt, she really enjoyed it. I know she did. And that makes me really happy because I want her to feel very happy here. Yes, that's what she's been called. So there we go. Cut it. Lots of laughs. I don't know what that is. All right. Wasn't there a movie about her? I don't know if there was one about Elizabeth Bathory, but she was a real cow. I'm just going to tell you. Look out. Vlad the Impaler. Listen, I know there's some things. I'm going to tell you something really cool about the Romanian um, castle of, it's okay, my darlings, the Romanian castle of Vlad. They have tourists. Shoot, I would go there in a heartbeat just to be a tourist. And the steps that went up to the castle were so, um, were absolutely so long and tedious that anybody coming to the castle, they would wear out and fall away and have heart attack and all this other stuff. And so they said that if you're coming to the castle, they put benches and everything else because the stairs were so I mean, they were long and gradual up. So they were going to be putting these trams, like these, that you could go over things, like an air tram type thing, like you do at the ski resorts. You could do that, okay? Well, what happened is a few years ago, female brown bears started coming to the castle and they were protecting it. And they wouldn't let people were getting attacked by these brown bears. And you know the saying, if it's black, black bear, if it's black bear, if it's black, you can strike back. But if it's brown, you need to lay down. That's the rule. And holy moly, it took them forever to get these brown bears out of there. But I just think it's so interesting. And the reason being is because when the castle was attacked, and he was married, Vlad was married. When the castle was attacked, there was a secret passageway that he got out and made his way down to the sea and escaped that way. And to this day, they cannot find the passage. Now, would you not want to find that passage? I certainly would. I would want to find that. Hello. I would certainly, that would be uncanny to go through that passage. Can you imagine what was left in that? Something else. It's just really great. Let me see. Someday. When you have your vampire in Germany, I want to know if he met my people too. I have uncovered letters referring to my ancestors as rich, annoying people. Well, I'm going to be on his show. He's not going to be on this one. So when the time comes, we're going to be talking about vampire lore that I know, and I want to find out some of these things. What does it mean? Is that, it's not Hollywood, but you never know. Yeah, Elizabeth Bathory. I did a little, it was Halloween about 5 years ago. I've got a Halloween playlist, and I did Elizabeth Bathory, and then a werewolf and Frankenstein and all these fun things. I want to ask him about the Chicago vampire population. Seriously. Oh, that is a huge population. And they're beautiful people. And so are you, my darling. Beautiful people. I'm going to tell you the ones that I met, they are very attractive. Almost a Romanesque feature, but very nice features, very beautiful. And they don't glitter and glow like Edward, right? Glow. But they are the two that I met are flippin' well handsome. But there's a huge population in Chicago, there's a huge population in New Orleans, and there's even a big population in Croatia. Yes. So there you are. I think Melanie greatly had a good time. Yes. They are real. Yes, they are real. They're not, they don't thirst for what you think. their thirst is knowledge, because they've been around for so long and they've suffered so much loss, they keep to themselves. So, I don't know. Anne Rice was extremely upset that Tom Cruise got a role in her movie, Interview with the Vampire. She was extremely mad. In the end, she liked because he was able to, but she never spoke to him, from what I understand. She thought that he didn't have that persona. He was too baby faced. I'll tell you the one that Gary Olson was the one in Dracula movie. Was that his name? Gary Olson? Oh, that was a good one. I like him anyway. But I just thought that was really, really something. Yeah, I was upset that they chose Cruise. Gary Oldman. What did I say? Olson. The Olsen twins. Hello. Gary Oldman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gary Oldman. Yeah, he was good, I thought. He was good. But the ones that I know, now see the one that I met when she was in New Orleans, I'll never forget that. In Cafe Du Monde, having beignets and that coffee. I don't know what it is about the coffee at Cafe Du Monde. I could sit there for hours and drink that coffee and eat beignets. Hello. That was wonderful. But she was talking to the one and actually was going to have him as the main character in Interview as a Vampire, but she used him in Lisette. Is it Lisette? I think it's Lisette. She wanted him for Lisette. Let me see. Zelda, is this vampire that would call into your psychic line years ago? No. That one, I am convinced, is Jacques Saint James from New Orleans. Lestat. Thank you. Yeah, I need you guys to be able to put me on the right road. Gary Olson and Lestat, right? Hello. So Gary Oldman and Lestat. Yes. Oh, French kiss. Yes. Hello. Gotcha. I couldn't remember. Yeah, so there are 3 that I have met in my life. And this one actually reached out to me. I do the graphics on his channel. He sent me a photo of what he looks like. I made the graphic based on what he looks like. I gave him the name. He's not going to tell you his real name because he doesn't want people coming and snooping around. I don't blame him. That's just the way it is. The one very interesting thing that I love about it is that he has told me, and he's not the only one, there's a couple of them have said the same thing, that a lot of them in Europe have horses. They use the horses to travel. They don't travel by car. They will, but they don't a lot. They still use it. Goodbye. They use horses. Isn't that cool? I just love that. Hello. And I said, please tell me that your horse is a Percheron. Percheron. I can't even talk tonight. Hello. So I think it is. So there we are. So my darlings, I think we've been on here quite a while. We heard some scary stories tonight. Please send me your scary stories. Make sure that you keep them short and sweet, because I won't be able to read all these, hello. I would love to have, if you've got photos, that would be wonderful. I'm going to read you. Tonight's the night we started. This is a limited series, and we're going to go until probably the first week of November, the weekend after Halloween. So we'll go. So there you go. I saw that, Kaylee, about Looks and acts like a wormtail. There you are. Love you, Zelda. I'll have to catch the replay so I know what to do. There you go, my darlings. There you go. And please do me a favor. If you see an ad, just let one roll. That if you can't donate, if you can't, that reminds me, I got to read these because I don't want to leave it. Have I left anyone behind? No, I do not let, the grifter does not leave anyone behind. Did I read that one? I think I've read every one. I think I have from on here. Let me get this on my Venmo. Hello. Nancy, bless you, my darling. Thank you so much for your sweet help. Thank you, thank you. Jana, appreciate you. You're very generous. Sharon, there's no apologies needed. There's no nothing. We're good. We're all good. Patty, for whatever please you, beautiful lady. Thank you, Zelda, so much for all you do. Love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. You guys are top shelf. Top shelf. Now, if you donate in Cash App, Cash App doesn't allow us to say, oh, thank you very much, my darling. So just know if I heart it, there you are. Okay. So I don't get to do that if not. Let me see. Nancy Newton. All right. So let me see if anything else is coming about. No. Let me see some final things. I watch the ads, but I can't do the 12-minute infomercial. Oh no, we don't. No, we won't. We won't do. I won't make you do the infomercials. Mercy Brown case. Don't know the Mercy Brown case, or do I? Maybe I need to look into that. Thank you, Captain Jerry. Please, everyone, this is my captain of the ship, and I want to tell you this. She is top shelf, my Jerry, because I actually mentioned to her today, I would love to go to 34 Fairview. And she's like, I'll drive you. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. I'll drive you. I'm here for it. I'll drive you. Which means she would have a long drive because that lady is in Florida. And I mean, going from Florida to Massachusetts, hello. But believe me, I'm sure we wouldn't, and we would have a lot to talk about. And I'm sure we wouldn't stop talking. So there you are, my darling. She's wonderful. Is Venmo easy to install? Absolutely it is, my darling. It is. Listen, I use Venmo. I have a Venmo card. I use Venmo more than I do my bank account. I like Venmo. And Venmo's really nice because it's instantaneous no matter what. If you remember the old days when you would have to cash a check and you go to the bank and you better make sure you made it on Friday night if you wanted any do-re-mi because we didn't have ATM cards, we didn't have anything else, and there wasn't any way except for going down to the grocery store or the corner store and cashing a check. Make sure you got some running money for the weekend. Now you transfer with Venmo, Cash App, it's instantaneous. Hello. Wonderful. Al Capone's hideaway house they turned into a restaurant. I hate going there as a kid. Let me tell you this. I've got my grandmother. Well, I've got stories about Al Capone. You know him. He talked a lot. Al Capone. He was a talker. Al Capone, who went through Route 30. Route 30 that went through my hometown in Ohio, up through from New York to Route 30 from Chicago. And they would bring things down from Canada. My grandmother was related to somebody that got hurt, somebody that got hurt, a female that was associated with Al, and talk about like he's, hello, Al. And that was, it was very unhealthy for her. She didn't survive it. So there we go. 34 Fairview would get 100K view. I'm here for it. I'm here, but I don't want anybody to bother them. I'm sure that it's like the Amityville horror house, that, believe me, those poor people, and they still, in fact, I heard last year they had another person arrested that was standing at the edge of their yard, and they were standing there taking pictures, and the cops came and arrested them for trespassing. Can you imagine what these poor people are going through at 34 Fairview? Listen, I'll go. I will, I will have somebody make an introduction. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner. I'm here not to cause trouble, but I'm here to see if anything is and believe me, we'll ask it gently to leave. I would buy that house, but I wouldn't live in it because, hello, what am I going to do in Massachusetts? So, not that anything's wrong with Massachusetts, I just have roots elsewhere. So there we go. My darling probably stopped at that house on the way down too. You should feel the energy at that place, Zelda Yikes. Yeah, I know. Let me see if I missed anybody. Miss Smith, hi. Zelda, what did you get to do? What did you do to get your baby girl to sit there and cuddle for so long? I'm currently trying to show my baby my phone so he can sit. I don't know. I'll just tell you, all of them would be that way. At night, when I'm laying there watching TV, I have the TV, like my bed is this way, and I have the TV over, like on the side, on a dresser. And seriously, I'll wake up during the middle of the night, and all of them will be lined up on the edge of my bed, sitting there watching TV, because sometimes I'll let like a documentary go, or 528 Hertz, or the Psalms, or something else going. Hello. They sit there and watch. Just as pleasant as can be. And I'll get up and I'll say, hey, mommy's got to get up, and they part the ways. They know when I'm going to stream because I'll look at Shaggy and all of them, like Bilbo, Shaggy, Riley, and I'll say, you want to see your babies? And they go right back in there, and I turn the cat TV on. So they know, they're smart. And it cracks me up because cat TV, when they see a bird fly like off the frame, they'll go and look behind the TV, like, where did that guy go? They're smart as whips. I don't know, but they are the calmest crew. They play a little bit, but they're older now, and believe me, when I lose them, I've lost 4 so far. There's some left. And when I lose them, it will be like an Italian funeral. It always is. Alcaphone for alcohol. There you go. Alcaphone. There we are. Lizzie Bordenhouse in Fall River. Boston Bea was at Salem. Sent me pictures. Jealous. Some cats snuggle, some don't. Yeah, these are snugglers. These little fellows, they're snugglers. The new homeowners should have been told or disclosed when they purchase it. Well, my darling, I think that the real estate agent was related in some sort of kind of way to the McAlberts. But I think by Massachusetts law, they don't have to disclose. And besides, at that point, really what was there to disclose? Because most things were hidden. I'd be mad. I would be mad. But I don't think they have, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think they have any legal recourse. So I don't know. Let me see what else is happening. Cat TV. What is Cat TV, my darling? Well, if you go on YouTube Live and you type in, or if you go into YouTube and you type in Cat TV, you're going to see all these channels, and it's little birds and squirrels, and they're eating, they flutter around, and make all these noises and they chirp, and the cats are just like, it's funny. It's funny. The Borden House is a B&B. I did not know that. I was there years ago in the 1980s, and I got pushed. Let me see. I love Salem. Let me see. Carrie Roberts' sister. Was it her? Hi there, darling. Heather. Oh, look at this young lady. I'd been doing some investigating, ripping up floors. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hello, beautiful. How are you? And how are you feeling? Let me see. The disclosure at least was found on the lawn. Here it would, yeah. In some of the states that I've been to, you have to say, look, there was a problem outside. Somebody was a talker. Anyway, it is what it is. My darlings, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you. I mean, I kind of stumbled through it tonight, but I want to thank you for help. I'm being haunted. Some weird things happened beforehand. I want to thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you. I have a little outro. If you do me a favor and watch that, and while you're saying goodbye to everyone, and I will see you Saturday night. We'll do some EVPs. We'll do some other things. And I mean, who knows? You never know. Miss Melanie watches. She may want to pop in. We don't know. If she does, come on. Everybody's welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks for putting up with me and my stories. I'm here for it, but thanks so much for understanding and for your generosity. It helps me, it helps the channel. Do me a favor before you go, if you haven't already, True Oracle's link is pinned in my chat. Please go and subscribe. Well, let's get that channel up to 4,000 so Saturday night we can have a big giveaway. And that is the plan. We're going to celebrate, have a big giveaway. You just don't know. You just don't know what little Zelda has in mind to give away. Look out. So glad you're here. So thank you so much, my darlings. Prepare, get ready. Let me get rid of these banners. I have to do that before I run the outro. I want to thank you once again. You guys are amazing. And thanks to my beautiful mod, Captain Jerry. You guys are the best. So I just love having you here. So without further ado, have a good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. See you soon.
And so, the lantern fades, but the shadows remain. This story may end here, or perhaps it's only just begun. See you soon.